Hello and welcome to the first workshop of Beyond the Void. So we're going to do this like a weekly thing. I'll keep them as short as possible, but I will keep them as educational and interesting as I possibly can do. Because we spend a lot of time focusing sometimes on training the body and nutrition and stuff like that, eating the right things, but we also need to train the brain. And I'm going to bring an element of that into these workshops. And I would really appreciate if you'd invest a little bit of your time into it. You know, you don't always have to watch it all in one go, but you can watch it in little chunks. I tried to not make them go much over 15 minutes, but I'll put these together for you to sort of open your mind and maybe drop some knowledge or expand on the knowledge that you already have. So today's topic is going to be about signs and feelings that you might have when you experience if you're not aligned with your true self. So some things that you might experience when you're not living up to your own moral standards and virtues, which we're going to get into. So I wrote a list out. I'm just going to go through this, and I'm going to go towards the end. I'm going to show you some ways how you can combat that. Okay, so first off, we have low self-esteem. So when you're not aligned with your true self, you may have a hard time accepting and loving yourself for who you actually are, which leads into feelings of low self-esteem and lack of confidence in yourself. Also, that can lead to anxiety and self-doubt when your actions and behaviours go against your values, desires, and you may experience feelings of anxiety and self-doubt. And that's that's normal, but it's also a sign. All these are signs that something needs to be adjusted in your life. Exhaustion and burnout, we all experience this one from time to time. And this is when you're constantly ignoring your true self and continuously putting on, a facade of pretending to be happy or pretending to be energetic or pretending to be, whatever it is. And it can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. So you may start to feel drained. You may start to disengage from relationships and friendships, and also, just feeling burnt out or washed out. It's not a great feeling. Feeling lost and unfulfilled. Again, I'm sure we've all experienced this from time to time. When you're not living in alignment with yourself, your true self, you might start feeling lost, unfulfilled, and you may question your purpose in life and feel like something's missing. Does that sound like you right now? You may also experience some relationship conflicts when you're not being authentic with yourself. You may find yourself in relationships that don't align with your values and desires. This can lead to friendships and conflicts and tension in these relationships. I'm not just talking about your wife or your girlfriend. I'm talking about relationships that you have with your friends, and sometimes they may have changed, you may have changed, and what they're now doing, it doesn't align with what you're doing, but you stay hanging around because you don't feel like you have chance to make other friends. You do have chance. There are opportunities, and it takes a brave person to walk away from a circle of friends that have maybe been there to support you, but no longer serve a purpose. Don't keep hold of these people. They can still be part of the bigger circle of friends, but they don't have to be part of that tight, close knit group anymore. You can expand. You can find more friends, and if they feel offended by that, then they wasn't really true friends in the first place. Another one is sense of dissatisfaction. So you may feel persistent sense of dissatisfaction with your life, and you might be unsure why you feel that way. But either way, you are experiencing that. If you're experiencing these signs and feelings, it's definitely time to reevaluate your life and make some changes to bring you in tune and closer to your true self. And it's worth remembering that living authentically, living who you're supposed to be is a journey, and it's never too late to make those positive changes. So here are some tips on how you can um, fix that problem, how you can become more aligned and more authentic with your true self. So number one, take note of your emotions. So when you feel, um, when you're faced with certain situations and you feel, yeah, what emotions are you feeling? Yeah, the negative emotions is going to indicate that you're not being true to yourself. While positive emotions mean that you are aligning with your true self. We find ourselves in situations. I mean, it's like work, for instance. Work's a good one because we spend a lot of time there. If you hate your job, it's because it doesn't align with your true self. You're just doing it for money, and there's only so long you can do that for until it really starts to grate on you, and then you start looking for another job and leave. Do yourself a favor, right? Before you just walk into the next job that you know because you're good at it, why don't you find something that you would definitely enjoy? All jobs sound really good, don't they, initially when you go to interview and they tell you about all the benefits and perks of the job. But it's the job. Is the job doing something and supporting something that you really enjoy and feel passionate about? Because if it isn't, then maybe you're not looking in the right places. Find something that you don't mind getting up early for, something that you don't mind going to bed late for, something that you don't mind doing an extra shift for if you need be, because that will tell you. It's not just about the money. The money is going to bring you home, is going to help you pay the bills, but it's not going to help you feel fulfilled. So pay attention to physical sensations. So your body can tell you a lot about how you feel. For example, if you experience stress and anxiety, tension in your shoulders and neck, um, when you feel aligned with your true self, you don't feel that way. So if you're stressed, angry, something is up, you ultimately want to find that part where you feel more relaxed and calm. And that's when you're being authentic to your true self. I feel like the body is a very good indicator to how we are. We should be, your body should be searching for happiness. The body and the mind don't want conflict. And we all deal with conflict in different ways, and conflict is a part of life. You can't avoid it completely. But finding yourself in places, in positions, in situations where there is little conflict is where we want to spend our time. It doesn't drain us, does it? When you're in a happy place, everything just runs smoothly. And I know, like I said, it's not going to last forever, but if we can spend more time in those places, in those situations, the body is going to be less stressed and not going to be have much cortisol running through our veins. We're not going to age because that's what it does. If you're constantly stressed, you're going to age quicker than normal. Next up, then, evaluate your actions. Um, are your actions in line with your values of what you truly want? And again, that kind of like, well, it's not just like your job, but things that you do. Um, are they true to yourself, or are you just doing it to please somebody else? Because if you are, then again, you're only setting yourself up to fail here. So it's time to reassess your decisions and make some changes. And talked about relationships before, so assess those relationships, and you should be able to be yourself around those who are closest to you. And if you're not, maybe you've pretended to be somebody for so long that no longer feels comfortable anymore. Now, so here are some other ways that you can sort of combat that. I'm going to go through these. We've got a few. So journaling, right? We're going to jump into it. So journaling, write down your thoughts and feelings in a journal. And this can help you with areas that you might not be fully authenticated with, and you can be honest with yourself. You should be able to be honest with yourself. Make sure that you are being honest and write down, some of your deepest, darkest thoughts, and then find ways to make positive changes. Okay, if you write maybe a list, you can have a list on one side of all the thoughts and feelings, and then write on the other side of that what you could do to change that. Practice mindfulness. Now that word just gets chucked around a little bit, and not many people really put that into practice in my experience. But it's so easy to do. All you need to do is just every now and then, just have a look around, especially when you're feeling a bit stressed, and think, I've got a lot to be thankful for, to be fair. This could be worse. Don't think too much about the past. Don't think too much about the future. Just draw yourself in for a moment as to where you are right now. Now, that if that place at that point in time is stressful, or there's a lot going on, tell yourself, I'm going to find some time today to spend 5 minutes, or whatever, 10, 15 minutes if you can, of just not thinking of anything and counting, right? Focusing on breathing and counting is a really good one to do. So that's basic meditation. So once you start sort of counting from 1 to say 500, you might find yourself drifting off and forgetting what you was counting, thinking about something else. But as soon as you catch yourself doing that, let's get back to the counting. That's what you're being in the moment. Then your only focus is on one particular thing. Next, then, so seek support. Connect with friends and family. A lot of our stress, and this I heard this the other day. A lot of our stress is, and the key to happiness is found in our relationships with people, our friendships, and if we can cultivate those friendships to serve us, and so we're also serving that friendship. So think about the friendship as a separate entity, maybe to yourself and that person. There's like a third person, which is the friendship, and you both, if it's to work well, you both need to feed into that friendship. That comes from just simply checking in from time to time, telling them what's going on in your life, asking them what's going on in their life, doing little things for them. One little thing on doing things for people. Don't do something with the expectation that they're going to do something back for you. It's not the way forward. Do something out of the kindness of your heart and expect zero back. If you get something back, fantastic, that's great. But then don't hold that person. Don't hold that person in a bad light because they didn't return the favour. You didn't do it as a favour. You did it because you wanted to do something for them. So let that be. Next, then, pursue your passions. Spend some time doing things that bring you joy and fulfillment and that align with your values, and that'll help you rediscover what's important to you and you will live in more authentically. If you could spend your whole life doing that, wow. Just think what you could achieve. Just think what you could achieve if you just focused on, you was able to focus on your passions. All right, maybe you got a job and it's hard to get out of because the pay is good or blah, blah, blah. But imagine if you spent 2 hours a day or whatever you can manage doing something that you really love. It'd make those 8 hours or whatever, how many hours you work in a day, so much more worth it, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. Being your true self, being true to yourself is a lifelong journey. It's small steps each day and will help you stay more aligned with your true self and help you live a more authentic life. And I don't think there's anything better than that as a project. So if you need some help realigning with any of that, I have some tools, some things that we could go through, and they are pretty easy to go through. And so if you're not quite sure where you're at with anything, and you need some help getting the chaos in order, then drop me a message, and then I'm more than willing to help you. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see you later. Fill the void, don't tap.